Hey everyone, it's Kasim, head of coaching and programming at T2FIT.
Hi guys, Rosie here from T2FIT.
And today we're going to be looking at the TRX Bicep curl. Hey everyone, so today we're looking at the TRX Bicep curl. This is featured in our sessions on Wednesday and Thursday, our upper body sessions. It's featured at the end as a conditioner to work the biceps, okay? So main thing we want to be very mindful when working the bicep is that there's a lot of muscles attached around the site of where the bicep is. So you've got the triceps, and you've got a bit of the delts as well, you've got the rhomboids and upper back. So it's important to know these muscles because sometimes they can take over and the bicep doesn't do as much work as we want it to in this movement, okay? So again, this is an isolation exercise, so we want to make sure we set ourselves up in a position where the bicep does majority of the work. So Rosie's going to go into a nice neutral position, so almost like you would with an inverted row. From here, she would then flex the bicep slowly, putting up, shortening the bicep here, and then slowly controlling down. Notice that as she starts the movement, she's very rigid and only getting that flexion through the elbow. That's very important because a lot of times, just do a bad rep for me, just pull up yourself up. A lot of people just use the upper back or they don't use enough of the biceps, or sometimes they end up rowing. So just do a row for me. They do a row instead of curling, okay? So we want to make sure that we're flexing at the elbow here. So curling, think about that knuckle going towards that forehead, and that way we're going to be able to isolate the bicep a lot better. Another example here of using the right muscles to curl up is if you notice here, the movement is just occurring through the elbow joint, so everything is nice and rigid. So again, like I said, we're going to get maximum contraction through the bicep, okay? But what can happen sometimes is that movement occurs at the wrist joint, and then we're using the wrist more, and again, we'll notice we're not going to get as much of a stimulus through the bicep. We could put further stress on the wrist joint, and that could lead to injury. So it's very important when you're doing this movement to try and keep the wrist as neutral as possible, and then let that elbow joint occur, the movement occur to the elbow joint.